Welcome to our Monday night community call. And for those of you watching later, welcome. And tonight we're going to talk about body pain or emotional pain. Things like we wake up and all of a sudden we've got a really sore neck, or we've got cramping, or we've got headache, digestive issues. So we're going to address what we normally would use or recommend to others. So first of all, we're going to start with Michaela. Welcome, Michaela. Michaela, are you there?
I had to unmute myself. I was like, oh my gosh.
Okay, Michaela, you have wonderful karma for me asking, talking your name many times. Okay, what would you like to talk about?
Let's think. I'm always banging on about Clary Calm for period pain. So, this is always a go-to for me for, that time of the month, and I think my pain threshold is pretty high anyway. And I don't think I get severe pain with periods, but when I do use Clary Calm, I find that within half an hour the pain has gone or dulled, but if it's only dulled, just keep reapplying and then I forget about it, so that's one I use. For headaches, my go-to is peppermint. I do use the past tense, but I prefer peppermint for myself. I just sometimes I find past tense is just a little bit, I don't know, too intense or something. And yeah, so there's just some simple go-tos for,
Okay. How do you apply the Clary Calm when you use it?
I
So do you use
I
it
put
every
it
day, or
over my
do you use it only when you have those issues coming up, or do you use it daily? How do you use it?
Yes, but I try to use it daily, but I have actually, because I talk about it to everybody, I end up selling my own all the time. So I'm waiting on my order to get my Clary Calm right now. So, but it does happen to me all the time. I'm without it, and then I get out of my routine. But I do find if I use it every day, it just helps to regulate the hormones. But if I haven't been doing that and I'm triggered by that pain, that monthly pain, then I put it on my tummy, in that lower tummy region, and massage it in. And I also put it on my wrists as well, and get a good whiff of it as well.
Okay,
You could
wonderful.
also use it for any other sort of aches and pains too. I think we forget that too. If you've
Yes.
got sore shoulders, you can use Clary Calm there too.
Yes. Or actually past tense. Past tense is excellent for not just, a headache. It was absolutely formulated for migraines, but past tense can
Mm.
be a little bit more of more effective for muscles, depending on the type of muscle pain you've got. And I remember Dr. Hill talking about this, that it's oftentimes better than the ice blue to apply the past tense. I know that when if I've had a virus, or when I get a virus, it's really interesting because it seems you seem to get the virus pain, achy pain from a virus, where you have a weakness in your body. Has anyone noticed that? Like, I get it along my jawline often. It usually is quite intense, the ache in my jaws. both sides
Yes,
actually.
I have
And so,
noticed the last few times I've had like a flu, I get a pain that goes round my head and into my jaw, like it's like all in there.
mhm.
Um, yeah,
So past tense, I
that's
use
all.
past tense. I've used it for years for that particular reason.
Which
And
is,
it just
it's just not
is,
one that I'm
yeah,
attracted
well,
to.
okay, well, we're all different. So maybe
Yeah,
it doesn't work on that
I
level.
use it.
Yeah,
I think when I had pain really bad, it just didn't work for me, and peppermint did.
okay.
So that's kind of
Yeah,
my
for
go-to.
sure. Yeah, we're all different, that's for certain. Okay, is that all you'd like to talk about? Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, yeah,
Your
were you
reception
talking to me?
seems to be really slow tonight, or is something's going on? Yeah, but that's fine. Thanks,
Okay.
Michaela. And Elizabeth, what would you like to talk about as far as, out of the blue, sort of unexpected body pain or things that come up?
Um, Pretty much ice blue is one of the things that I really like to use. And since we got, actually, I got it at my desk. We got the stick. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
fantastic. You can put it on, you can even massage the area with the same stick, and you don't even have to use your hand. So um, ice blue for me is always the one to go. But I have to agree with Michaela in regards to the past tense. It's intense. The aroma is intense. And I didn't like it for many, many years. But Michael loves it, so we use a lot of them. And what I did, I like to explore. A lot of us like to play around and mix my own things, and sometimes even from my little knowledge and from my intuition. And so I used a little, like a bottle of past tense that he had in a roller, and then I add, I think it was all equal, maybe 5 drops of each or 10. I put ice blue, turmeric, copaiba, wintergreen, aromatouch, and cypress, and I call it the bomb. And I
Mm-hmm.
fill it up with fractionated coconut oil, and this is when my neck is tight like a rock with computer stuff. It's been amazing, and the aroma is not so strong. But funny enough, also I heard about, I don't know if you someone saying that sometimes when you don't like a smell of an oil, it's
Mm-hmm.
probably oil that you need. And lately, I've been smelling another past 10 in Michael. I was like, which one do you have? Because it's kind of like, oh, I like it. And it's past 10, so it's funny. And what else? Pretty much that if I have, I don't know, sometimes a little bit of stomach ache, um, I go with digestion or chest or peppermint sometimes if I run out of the digestion. And if I feeling a little bit emotionally triggered by things like stress and anxiety and this sort of stuff, adaptive is being amazing since I've been going like menopausal now. It triggers so much anxiety, and adaptive is incredible. Sometimes even I use it in my stomach because I feel a little bit of tension there, and
Mm-hmm.
it's helping me. And I use it on the wrist, I put it on my chest, I smell it. It's amazing. So that kind of like emotional pain thing, adaptive. And
Yes.
then the other two, pretty
Okay. Thank
much.
you.
And
They're your go-tos. Yes. Um,
yeah.
Anne Marie, I'm not sure. Are you available, Anne Marie, or not sure how her internet's going? But okay, let's cover a couple of things. Um, Claire asked me to just read her go-to out when to help with her body pain. And she takes this internally: turmeric, copaiba, black pepper, and frankincense in a capsule, in a veggie cap. And she'll take a couple of drops of each of those 2 to 3 times a day. So usually around 3 times a day. And that helps settle her body pain. And for myself, if I have really sore feet, like if I've been working out in the garden or really just on my feet a lot, I love Aroma Touch blend for anything to do with the feet. I think it's amazing. So it's also really good for stiff muscles, connective tissue, and that sort of thing. But especially for my feet, the Aroma Touch, I'll just, before I go to sleep, I'll put a few drops on the bottom of my feet at night. I also love for sort of anxiety, feel like you're really not quite grounded. I still go back to balance. So if you're feeling a little agitated throughout the day, or you've had a conversation with someone and you just don't feel settled about something that was said, I love to use balance down my spine as far as I can reach and the back of my neck. I'll just put that on during the day. It's still one I really love to go to. I get a lot of bites and out in the garden, like jumping red ants and little critters like that are unexpected, and they really hurt. And so I'll use Purify for spiders is really good. And then peppermint, if it gets stingy or itchy, peppermint's excellent. I do use tea tree also. So I might use, depending if I think it's a spider bite or something like a green ant or a red ant, I'll use tea tree and peppermint. And let's see. Digestive, of course, is always DigestZen is amazing. If food poisoning, you've been out for dinner and you wake up in the middle of the night and you feel like, oh my God, what's going on with my stomach? It wakes you up. That happened to me quite a while back, but a couple of drops in some water. I like to take the DigestZen internally because it works very, very quickly. It's excellent for just settling the tummy, but you can apply it topically. It's really good for little ones if they got cramping and stomach ache. And of course, you can dilute it with a little bit of carrier oil, fractionated coconut oil. And I was just thinking about, what do we do for kids? So oftentimes, unexpectedly, Michaela, you're the mum with the mostest at the moment. What do you do if you are woken up in the middle of the night and your child has a fever? What do you go to?
Oh, for a fever, definitely peppermint for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I just keep monitoring it, and I just keep applying peppermint. And it's, my son actually tonight had a bit of he's overindulged today. We've been out and about and then running around, and he's like, oh, I got a sore tummy. So I had Zengest in the touch, and I put that on his tummy, and I gave him a peppermint beadlet actually. So, kids love those sorts of things, or mine do anyway. They think it's a gem, anything that because my kids don't get medication basically at all. So they get the oils, and sometimes I'm just like, okay, it's nurse mum here, you come down to my room and we'll put whatever on. So was it just sore tummy you were asking me about, or other
what
things?
about a cough? Sometimes that happens at night, especially now it's cooler months, and all of a sudden during the night a coughing will start. What do you use?
I'll tell you, just give me a second.
So I suggested to a mum recently to use down the spine frankincense, litsi, and thyme, She said it was quite a serious cough. She mentioned even whooping cough, and thyme is excellent for whooping cough. But I love thyme, frankincense, and linseed down the spine when children start to get quite a serious cough, and you would apply, just depending on the age of the child, a couple of drops. But down the spine is an excellent application because it'll cover the lung, the back, at the back, covering across the lungs. So yeah. All right, Michaela.
I can't actually read it. Look, it's all faded out. But I made up a blend for a kid's cough. And that goes on their chest and around their neck. When touch wood, my kids haven't had a cough for a very long time now. So I haven't really needed that. But anytime that that there's any sniffles or anything in the house, it's always easier and On Guard go in the diffuser straight away, as well. But one little thing that I feel like everybody should have in their house is helichrysum, because if my kids do get, a scrape or they're bleeding or anything, my go-to is always helichrysum.
Okay, wonderful. What's in that little
As
thing
well
you
as
just
that,
went and got?
well,
You,
I can't read it. I can't even read it. That's
oh,
why it's got. I know it's got On Guard Easy Air. It's got the recipe on there. I'm going to have to relook it up.
you will have to look
Um,
it up and post it on our Facebook page. That'd be great.
It's really empty too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. And Anne-Marie, are you wanting to, are you able to talk with your internet or not?
She has commented in the chat. And she has said, "Hi everyone, sorry my internet isn't cooperating again tonight. My go-to for my neck if I've slept the wrong way is Ice Blue Stick. Great and non-greasy. Also, Rusty Hinges is a roller blend for arthritic pain of sore knees or anything else really. Roll it on, prepared to be amazed. Oils are cypress, mudroom, copaiba, and arbor vitae."
Oh, wonderful. Thanks for that, Carrie Ann. Yeah, thanks, Anne-Marie. I know you're having internet problems, so thank you for sharing that. And what about anyone got anything else to add before we
Yes, I
finish?
do.
Okay.
For bites, I remember when you say bites and you use your oils, we love here to use correct eggs.
Okay.
It works amazing. And even if I'm the sun and I sometimes get cold sores, I use correct. Amazing. Actually, sometimes when I feel the little tingling in my lips, I put the correct eggs before even the cold sore. And sometimes even I stop so before it all develops.
Yes.
So
yeah. It is excellent for that. Yes. Wonderful. All right. Okay, everyone. Thank you all. We want to keep to our time because I know that anyone got any questions and suggestions for next week? What would you like to talk about?
I just have one question, seeing as though I have everyone that knows about children. I have one thing that I've been doing with my son, who has only just recently started sleeping through. He is almost 3, so I've had 30 months of no sleep. And two oils that I can't rave enough about, and I've been letting all my friends know about it as well, is I've been putting Vetiver in his diffuser. So I just put four drops, and it's quite a large diffuser, and I have that in his diffuser every night. And I've been putting lavender piece on his toe, on his big toe.
Okay.
Mum actually told me about that because
Yes.
she uses that for her brain fog and to make her brain stop. And so I started using it on Cooper, and the last week he has gone from a number of wake ups to 4 nights of no wake ups and only waking up once, and that's only because he's looking for his dummy, which we're getting rid of. That's the next thing that I have to figure out how to get rid of.
Wonderful.
But yes, I just wanted to put that out there in case
Yes,
anybody
that's-
needed help with
Also,
that.
I would like to add to that recipe, like the lavender peas and the bottom of the feet. I have my sleeping blend, which is in a roller, in a 10 ml roller, and I put lavender peas, maybe 2 or 3 drops. I put 5 of Vitavea, 5 of copaiba. Maybe sometimes I feel like I want more sweet and what else? And cedarwood.
Okay.
Like 5 or 10 drops. That is my bomb to sleep. It's amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
And can I use that on children?
No, you know what? I think that would be wonderful for an adult, but I think that while it's working, what you're doing,
Yeah.
Terry Ann, just stick with that, because if we think about lavender peace has cedarwood in it, has lavender in it, has vetiver in it, and for a little 3-year-old, it's probably perfect right now. As time goes by,
It just,
sometimes you need to swap things around a little
Yeah.
bit. But for now, if it's working, I would just absolutely stay with that. And
Yeah.
but what Elizabeth suggested is probably a little bit more potent, of course, if you need extra help.
For me.
And yeah, and you are a adult. I mean, I love to take 2 copaiba capsules in just before I go to bed, and I love the sleep I get from the copaiba capsules, so gel caps. So I take 2 of those most
And
nights, actually.
how many drops do you put of the copaiba in the capsules?
Oh, I buy the ready-made ones. I buy the
Oh,
ones
okay.
from doTERRA that are already have the essential oil in the gel cap,
Okay.
which is a lazy man's or easy woman's way to use the copaiba. I don't put any extra on because that's sort of enough for me, and I normally don't have problems sleeping. I just love that I get really good dreams.
Yeah.
Which we've talked about before with the copaiba. Yes.
I
But
do
we
have one other thing that
Uh-huh.
I normally use. I find myself, I grind my teeth a lot. I am constantly grinding, whether it be due to stress or anxiety, but I sit there and I find myself, that I start to get a bit of sore jaw, and I absolutely love past tense. I can't get enough of it. The smell for me is just, it's the perfect amount. And so I have that. I take it from the top of my ear all the way down my jawline before I go. And I wake up and I find myself, the days that I use it, I don't grind. The days that I forget, I find myself getting that pain in my jaw and my teeth again.
Wonderful. Yeah. As we said, we're all different. So you love the past tense.
I love it.
Michaela, yeah, that's wonderful. I've always been a past tense fan. I love it for many different things. But that's wonderful to hear. Thank you for sharing that. All right, ladies. Well, I'll look at our little group and see if you have some suggestions for next Monday. And thank you, everyone. And we'll see you all next week. Have a great evening. Bye for now.
Okay.
Bye.